tried calling them on my phone and they kicked me off live stream. Somebody called, kicked me off. Somebody called. I'm on my cell phone, and somebody called and it kicked it off. Thank you, Gordon. And thanks, Justin, for coming back. We'll wait and let a few other people get here. Well, I got kicked off. Somebody called and it stopped it. But we got 6 more people back in here, 7. I kind of almost didn't go back live because I didn't know how many people was getting tired of me rambling or not. But as I was saying, I would like to have a female. He's full blooded. He just don't have a lot of gray on him. Hello, Alton. Welcome back. But you can make some money. Mosquitoes ain't eating me up yet. I don't know if the rain's holding them off or what, but I need me one of them candles out here. I think my wife's got one of them tiki torches. I don't know if that keeps it off or not. Got a Nerf gun too. Gordon, are you referring to the one that's it's a module builder? I saw some of that. Kept getting stuck. There's some boys from about an hour from here down in Alabama. They've got one of them. I've never seen it work. I've never been to their farm. Jackie done a drone video last year of some people picking peanuts, and it was right at twilight, and that was a really cool video. Anybody wonder we're talking about Gerald Farms, Jackie Gerald. Is it hot? I don't know if you've ever been to Tennessee. We're very humid. It's been in the 80s. I think it's probably down, probably in the high 60s right now. It's not humid right now, but it gets humid during the day. But at least it's not 90 and 100 degrees. I don't know what part of California you're from, Alton, but I've been to Lake Tahoe, and we stayed in Nevada side, and I think we touched down in Carson City, and this was I think the 5th of July, and the pilot said it was like 104, and I about had a heart attack, and I never did sweat. It wasn't humid out there, and we went over to the California side of Lake Tahoe. Okay, Northern California, so you ain't close to Humboldt, are you? Watch a documentary on that on Netflix, Humboldt County. But it's a dry heat out there. You get burned easy. But we stayed up on the mountain up on at Lake Tahoe, and it'd get down to pretty cool at night, even in July, and then heat up in the day. I've never been to Yosemite. 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 I called it Yosemite. I know some people went there one time. That's what they pronounce it as. Missed a comment. Well, Dylan Joyce told me tonight he's about 40% done with corn. I don't know if he wants that leaked out or not, but he's about 40% done, and we ain't shelled the first ear yet. And between us, six that's on here, things go a little faster if I get my dad off the combine. Bless his heart, he was shelling 1 year. I think it was 2.3 miles an hour is what he was shelling at on a Friday night. And he had to take off the next day, and I got a friend of mine to run grain cart. We had a semi truck hired and driver, and I hired a friend of mine to run the grain cart, and he had been to the field the day before, and he got on the CB and he said, "How fast are you going?" I said, 4.6 miles an hour, and he said, "You're going twice as fast as your dad was." I said, "Yeah." And it was that was with the 2366. Greg's here, and is letting her eat. Hopefully the weather is nice after Wednesday. Get in this corn and start getting some cash flowing again. Last time I got paid was back in July. I'm needing new socks. Hell, I got holes in them. My wife bought me some underwear for Father's Day, so I'm good on them a little bit. Got 8 back in here now. And everybody's quiet. 10. And nobody saying anything. You need some undies yourself. How far are you away from getting started, Greg, on corn harvest? Or are you going to have some beans ready? I showed my last video that field of beans at the end. That was my double crop beans after wheat. And I didn't. I thought I was going to have to replant, and it kept raining, and I'm tickled death. I never did replant. I'm tickled death the way they look. They're not going to be no bin buster beans, but they're gonna make some money. I think all of our beans are gonna make some money this year. I like the price. I've heard that red heelers tend to be more mean. Now this dog here, he's friendly. There you go, picking time. He's very friendly, never meets a stranger, very loving dog. And I'm his master. But I lay a hand go to whip or raise my voice to one of my kids, he will tear you up. So that's one good thing about having him here, down here where we're at. If I'm not around and somebody comes down here, he's gonna tear them up. Finally got some comments, let's look at them. My grandfather worked up until his 90s. I attend the Baptist church right down the road here. I saw you, poodle pup. I don't know if I'd want to get into the puppy breeding business, but actually when I got Buster here, my cousin had a blue heeler female, and he was looking for somebody to breed her to. And like I said, this was a surprise. I didn't know I was getting them. I got them for Christmas, and I took them over to, I think the first day I had them, to my cousin's house, and I said, I got me a male, and he said, well, I just had Lulu fixed. He said, I couldn't find nothing to breed her to. And every time he sees Buster, he says, if you ever breed him to anything, I want a puppy. You know, talking cattle dogs, he is a cattle dog, and he's never had any training. But if there's ever a cow that gets out of the fence here, he uh, he puts them back in, and he has helped us run them onto the trailer some. Uh, Sometimes he don't know what he's doing, but if he'd ever had any training, he would make a really good cattle dog. But he's just a pet. He sees something. He's staring out in the woods, and he stays in the house a lot. Well, my kids actually named him. Uh, his name is Buster Peanut, and they were pretty young when uh, my twins was 7 and Seth, I guess, was 3, and they named him before I got him. But that name fits him. And I wasn't living here off the road. At the time, uh, my grandfather was living here, and I had a dog named Dixie. I'm gonna get catch back on them comments. But I was living up here on the highway, and I didn't want a dog on the inside of the house, and I didn't want him out close to that road. So my plans was to put him in the shop at night and just leave him down here all day. And the first after the day that the morning that she gave him to me, I brought him down here to stay in the shop. And at that time we had a shop cat, and I opened up the door and he went running in, and I heard, "Meow," and he come running back out of yipping, and that cat got one of his eyes. He's a one-eyed dog. So it was in December, it was cold, so reluctantly he stayed in the house at night, and I'd throw him in the truck with me every day and take him wherever I went. And he wasn't hard to housebreak, and he's just now a member of the family. Well, hello, Brett. I had to start over again. So I was doing this on my phone, and somebody called and kicked me off. I gotta get back on the comments. My grandfather run combine up till he was in his early 90s. Comments disappear on me. The Dixie I had was it was my cousin's blue heeler got knocked up by one of the neighborhood mutts, so it was half blue heeler, and she was had more mud in her than blue heeler evidently, because she wasn't as smart as what Buster is. But I did keep her down here, and she got to wanting to follow my truck, and I'd have to make her go back. And I thought I had her broke, and one day she followed me, and she left, and I haven't seen her since. But I don't like cats. I've had one cat in my life, and when I was about 12 years old, a guy hunting caught actually two bob kittens, wild bob kittens, and he gave me one. I had to keep it in the cage, um, and I'd kill it. I started out killing it a couple of doves every day. Then I have to kill it a squirrel every day, and I got tired of killing it stuff, and I gave it to a neighbor, and his wife had passed, so it was just him and his boys there, and he was gonna make a house cat out of it, and he turned it loose, and in his house trailer, and it tore the place up. And he stuck it back underneath in the cage and stuck it under the house trailer, and I think it eventually got sick and died. He fed it 9 lives, which I was told not to feed them 9 lives or cat food. Always kill an animal or something, but yeah, that cat tore him up. And I've got some wild bobcats out here in the woods around the house. Hello, Scott. We're just sitting here chewing the cud tonight. We're just talking about how close we are to harvest. He don't know he's on camera. Let me tell you about what that done today. Let's back up 2 weeks ago. Do I do any hunting? I used to do a lot of hunting. I really ain't got time for it. Me and my oldest boys went a couple of times. He heard something. He took off. But 2 Sundays ago, I had the Peterbilt in the shop, and the plate back, the fifth wheel plate, you know, you keep it greased. And a friend of mine come over, and he's got some kids my kids' age, and we wasn't paying attention. And next thing I know, every one of them kids is just black head to toe. They'd got on that fifth wheel. We cleaned them up, and today when I was out there at the shop working, my wife and my kids come out there to see me, and the littlest one that was just out here, he disappeared, and we lost him all of a sudden. So my wife, she come back to the house, and she said when she grabbed the doorknob, it was greasy, and he had took a shower and changed clothes so I wouldn't know that he'd gotten the grease. And he's got grease everywhere in our house, and we've been trying to clean it up all afternoon, or my wife has. But yeah, and he put on long sleeve pants and a long sleeve shirt to cover up the grease. He couldn't get it all off in the shower. I just thought I'd share that with y'all. I discipline my kids, but I couldn't get mad on that. And he's only 7. Hey, okay, he's 6. He'll be 7 next month. Close enough. Well, that might make them immune to the weeds. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Greasy kids. So my friend that's got the kids that's age of my kids, he's coming back over tomorrow, I think, and we'll just see if they get in the fifth wheel grease. I actually should have got that on video today, which I didn't see him. He hid today, but I was actually filming some video. So, well, I have found out with 2 boys that they can get into a lot of stuff. My daughter is not as bad, and they want to mess with everything. You bring something in, they want to mess with it. I guess I need to start telling them, go ahead, y'all play with that, and they'll leave it alone. Hey, there ain't nothing wrong with kids in mud. I played in it when I was a kid. You know, I'd rather see these kids out here playing and getting dirty than doing what they do most of the time, sitting in the house on their tablets or PlayStation. Girls can get in messes too. Yeah, y'all get into makeup. Well, I used to. I used to be weary of them coming to the shop and getting into stuff, but Uh, it's not the cleanest place for a kid. But well, women don't need makeup anyways. They just try and cover up something. Doug's here. Ain't heard nothing out of Doug in a while. Doug says he's gonna come and go live with me one night. I do have a pond real close to the house, and that's one thing I am worried about is them getting into the pond. But other than that, you told me, Doug, you was gonna come go live with me one night. Case man, he's here, and you're from Kansas, correct? I try to keep everybody straight. And we got 15 in here. Oh, somebody left. Nebraska. Well, that's the same thing. Kansas and Nebraska. Same thing. Richard Heisinger just went live. See you, Brian. You going over Richard Heisinger's, ain't you? You going to his live. I say how you are. I'm just joking. Got 14 in here. Only 6 thumbs up. I got a. I was messing around with that sea the other day. Had the test light out, and my oldest boy come out there and he asked me what it was. And I went over to the battery and grounded it, and I hope to be combining corn in a few days. It's raining here. I should be already. Then was I showed him how a test light worked, and he walked around with that thing touching every battery he could that day. Well, Seth, the little one, went out there the next day and he said, Seth, let me show you this cool thing. So they thought the test light was interesting. And I have to watch them sometimes getting into my tools. We got 2 sets of tools out in our shop. We got my tools that's put up and they have a place. And then we have my dad's tools that's scattered and mismatched, and he's got drawer probably with 40 inches in it. Now I bet you couldn't find a ½ inch or 9/16 in the whole dang drawer. He throws them back of his truck and forgets about them and stuff like that. But I've got my tools. I know where 99% of them are, and he just kind of guesses at his. I do have a ½ inch gear wrench missing, and I'm under suspicion it's in his box. And I've got to go look see if it is one. Our soybeans are starting to turn. I have heard of some farmers in this area that planted early soybeans that's done got some. What are you trying to say about me, Doug? Hmm? How far is Dixon? 2 hours? Hour and a half? Been years since I've been out there. I've got some family that lives up that way, but I don't ever go see them. I did years ago, but it's been 20 something years ago. Oh, we down to 7 people in here. And I think we was on the first one for 35 minutes, and we're on this one for 25 minutes. And I generally like to stay around an hour, so we're getting close to an hour mark. So unless y'all quit talking or start talking on me, we're gonna have to shut her down. Well, we got 8 here now. But y'all gonna have to start talking. I'm starting to run out of stories. I don't know if it's 2.5 hours or not. Uh, I was thinking it's under 2 hours. You get off on 43 to Santa Fe exit. I don't know how far you are from Santa Fe. Big K's here. I think you was here on the first one. And I may have ignored you. I was talking or something. Maybe what? Maybe you commented on video or something. I can't remember. Big K's been with me for a while. I appreciate it. I appreciate several of you that watches pretty regular and has been with me for about a year. I don't know if I'm just that entertaining or y'all feel sorry for me or what. But I do have a video coming out tomorrow. I don't know really how interesting it's going to be. Started to scrap it for most of it. Just wait till I got some better content. But I did come home and edit it, and I think it'll be a video. It just won't be a really great one. Yeah, except it ain't a barbecue place no more. It's a pawn shop. Rick built a new he built a new one in town there on the strip. One time Rick had 2 or 3 in Lawrenceburg, but there's little drive-through places. But he's got one in every corner of the county now. Well, I think the last few lives I've had has been spur of the moment. This is the first one I've planned in a while. Hello, Nelson. Hope you grandson had a good party. Now, sometimes I just feel like I need to go live sometimes. And with harvest coming up, I don't know how much I'll get to go live. I may try to go live from the field some. I think before it's all said and done, I'll be running the combine, but that's between us. I did last year. I combined majority of the soybeans. 7 in. But y'all gonna have to start talking or something, or I'm gonna have to shut it down. I'm running out of stories. I don't need to give all my stories away. I'll save some of them for some boring videos. Oh, somebody else left 6. We dwindling down. Alright, so nobody's gonna say anything, huh? Everybody's gonna get quiet on me. Well, our corn has been turning for a while, and we had fungicide sprayed on our corn for southern rust. It hit this area hard, and most everybody did, but the ones that didn't, their corn turned pretty much after the rust hit. I'd almost say prematurely. And I've never dealt with rust, but I've heard that the test weight and stuff is not there. Well, what we got for supper, Scott? We had Italian meatballs tonight. We're gonna have Italian meatball subs, and my wife bought the bread first of the week, and dang, it done turned moldy. So we just had the meatballs, and I need to start laying off bread and pasta, anyways. So we're at 31 minutes, and everybody's got quiet. Pizza, that's one thing I like to eat. That's something I'm gonna have to cut back on. Brunswick stew. Well, everybody's commenting now. Well, it was a whole. They gave us. We did that grocery pickup, and they gave us a bunch of bread. And my wife threw away. So we all went out there and fed it to the cows. Our calves, we just calve whenever. We don't have no certain breeding time. They just born mostly in the winter. And we actually had, and this is in tomorrow's video. We got a hole in the fence, and we can't keep one bull in one pasture. We got two bulls in one pasture, so we did fix the fence. We're gonna try to keep that bull over here, but we couldn't keep him over here, so we were wondering how many cows got bred over in this pasture this year. Um, but I explain all that in the next video. Well, I don't get explaining about the bulls, but the hole in the fence, and I don't mind fencing if it's a new fence. I don't like patching, and we was doing patchwork. No, we don't have Smithfield chicken. We have Rick's barbecue. That's what me and Doug was just talking about. A local guy started a pork barbecue place, and back in the '80s, and he sold it out. He had like two or three little outbuildings around in Lawrenceburg, the nearest town, and he sold it out of outbuildings for a while, and then he built a couple of restaurants, and now he's all over southern Tennessee and northern uh, Alabama. He's got restaurants now. I don't know if I've seen a 404 row crop. Back then, it was the utilities was internationals and the row crops was farmals. I think that's what it is. My cousin's got a 504. Well, we're definitely going to have to start changing some things up. I've been wanting to take the master beef class, and last year it was online during harvest time, and this year I think it's going on now harvest time. But there's definitely some advantages of being in the master beef program because you get cost shares. Yeah, my cousin's 504. It's got the narrow front end on it. And you talking about Baker equipment, not Tri-Green, where Jim Baker's at. I'll tell y'all something. I got I had a 7120 a couple of years ago, Case International. I got mad at it, and I got mad at the dealership. I'm not going to say their name. Everybody knows local who they are. And I called Tri Green, and maybe it wasn't Jim Baker. Jim, it's the Baker that's still at Tri Green. Well, anyways, he had a 7810. That man, that thing was nice, and I almost traded for a 7810 John Deere. He couldn't come to terms with my trading, so. But I'm mad at the local dealership, and I'm probably gonna go to Agco on a lot of stuff, on newer stuff. Let's see. I think about chicken houses all every day. Let's see. Well, there's a thing in Tennessee. Row crops, they get cost share too. And I actually got a letter the other day that I needed to fill out my application. And I don't know, Doug. I don't think there's a Massey Ferguson dealer, but fill out an application for. Uh, as y'all know, I'm selling uh, uh, Outback GPSs. There's a cost share on the row crop side on the GPS. And I heard this year there is a cost share on GPS for Master Beef. So if you're wanting a GPS for something, I can hook you up. And if you get enrolled in that by October 10th, I think it's a third off. Trying to look at these comments. Oh, okay. I thought Jim's boy was going to run Baker equipment. That's I dealt with them on something. I never did buy. I went and looked at something up there. But I like Case International combines. But I hope the 2388 lasts for several years. But the new gleaners are pretty neat, and Agco is changing things up. I think I saw last night they don't have the white planter no more. It's Massey Ferguson, and I'd like to. My next pick of planters would be a white. I think the white is gone now. Also saw a couple weeks ago, um, row gators are going to be Fent green and with red wheels, and will be called the Fent row gator. So I think Fent's starting to play a big picture in Agco now, or a bigger picture. And I've never seen a Fent up close, but everybody says those are the Cadillac of tractors. I think they're ugly, but I think it was Brian's farming videos. He went to some big farm show and was talking about all that. And I think the one I watched last night, which it's a week or two old video, but those looking at the new mid-sized Massey Fergusons, and they kind of had the classic look, the silver cab and stuff on them, and the silver stripes come back. Hey, Christopher. But I don't know. I've never been one that's just been one brand. It just always ended up being one brand, and I don't know. I may switch things up. They are still building Massey combines. I think me and you talked about this. I'm doing good. Um, Larry Nix says he's got a pretty new, pretty new Massey combine. Not that I know of any Masseys an hour away down in Tanner, Alabama, not Tanner, Athens, Alabama. Uh, they've got Agco dealer. I think they was more gleaners and stuff like that, but somebody said that they're starting to run the Massey stuff on it, and I assume if you're an Agco dealer, you can sell whatever you want to. Which I doubt if I ever buy a new tractor, but I could say that if I wanted to go in there and buy a new Fendt, I could. Paris, Tennessee's a haul, and I would like to have an older articulating four-wheel drive one day, and of course I'm gonna probably go with the Steiger, but I thought it'd be pretty cool to have one of them versatiles. One popped up on Facebook Marketplace, pretty reasonable. And the closest dealer is Union City, Tennessee, and that's a good 4 or 5 hours away from here. That's a haul for me just to go get parts. And them new versatile, not the articulating, but the regular tractors, they're pretty, they're, they're pretty sweet looking. Which I think the big Kubotas are versatiles, and we've got a Kubota dealership just real close to here. But I'd have to run one before I ever bought one. They'd have to let me try it out for several days. And speaking of Kubotas, if everything works out all right, I may buy a Kubota Sidekick side by side. I'd like to have one. I don't know if I'm gonna buy one this year or not, but being as the service is this close, I would I would consider probably buying one. That or a Honda, and the Honda's probably the closest Honda dealer's an hour away. At a Case dealership. I don't like the Case dealership here, and they've bought up everything around all the Case. There is still two. That's 2 hours away, but one of them don't carry much new stuff, and I don't know how much parts he carries. And the other one, I like them, but it's just 2 hours away. And I buy a lot of parts off of them for winter projects where I can spend 4 days on the road and an hour over there, and kind of making a day trip. I'll call over there and order some parts and go get them. And I'll probably do some planter parts this year like that. And speaking of planter, I've been looking into some precision planting this year, going with some precision meters and monitor. And I don't know if that's going to happen or not. That's a lot of money. But I think in the long run, it'd pay off. My uncle bought a Kubota new back 20 years ago. It was a 90 horsepower cab tractor loader. And I was never impressed with it. He had a lot of trouble out of it. And 2016, he traded it for, don't ask me what size, but it's a 110 horsepower John Deere. And I've run that tractor very little. Um, might be running it more in upcoming year, but I don't know. I've got a cousin now. He's got a pretty new Kubota. He had a pretty new Kubota, and I don't think it's raining right now. The clutch wouldn't ever hold up, and then he's got another. He traded it for another Kubota, and he can't keep the air conditioner going. And he's had the dealership look at it and fix it 2 or 3 times. So I don't know. And I've heard bad things about some of the Kubota older model hydraulics. Uh, I mean, there's good and bad in all of them, but I definitely would like to try out one of the big row crop Kubotas. But that orange, that's a lot of orange. Be different if the wheels were silver or something like that, but that's a lot of orange on the tractor. The 5088, uh, I thought somebody said they'd moved in the shop. They ain't doing nothing with it, and I'm starting to get a little ill. We may have to find somebody to fix it. Like I said, Doug, I heard at one time they were made by Versatile, so I don't know. I figured the Versatile would be on top of the game. I think this is newer than that, Jim. But I'm thinking the M9000 is what my uncle had the first time. I don't remember the air conditioner ever being bad. It was overheated. It overheated a lot. Um, we were bush hogging one time. My dad was using it, and I was on an 856 we had. That's about the same horsepower. And no, I was on Kubota, and Daddy was coming up behind me, and he said, "Throw it up another gear," and I said, "I'm running hot now." So it wasn't the tractor that the 856 was, as far as power wise. I don't think it wasn't. I think both of them was 90 horsepower. It wasn't the 90 horsepower like. And I think that they used to base it on drawbar horsepower, and now I think it's all on engine or PTO horsepower. That's like the 8940 factory's 205 horsepower, but it's only like 175 drawbar. But this last pump's been beefed up, and the guy that rebuilt the pump said run it a while, make sure it's good, and he said I'll come and beef it up some more. Hey, I'm on live stream here. They over there fighting. Over there fighting. I'm trying to get slow. There we go. And speaking of tractors and dealerships, uh, New Holland, that was where I was wanting to start going towards on hay equipment. And dang, if the dealership I don't like bought our local New Holland out, and they were good people to deal with, but the owner is retirement age. But the 90 and 100 horsepower New Holland, those same things, Case Internationals. I'm not scared to run blue and white. But yeah, and I ain't scared to run John Deere. I just never had one. Like I said, I've been mad enough to trade for one a couple of times. And man, we fluctuating on people in here. Well, everybody's got quiet on me again. No, Greg Rose, it ain't raining. I don't think at the minute. It might be missing a little bit. Well, Doug, it went up like 10, and all of a sudden it went back down to 7, like within 30 seconds. Oh, we had 8 now, Doug. But we had 15 on the first one. I think we got back up 15 on this at one time. Greg's eating chicken tenders. I'm not a big chicken eater. I like hot wings. Eat a lot of eggs. I keep saying if I can find something where I can read comments where I can keep my phone out like this, I'm gonna threaten to get the guitar out one day. I won't have nobody watching me. I won't have nobody watching. Run them all off. We back up to 10. Man, we went over to that gum. Everybody's commenting now. I can play guitar. Uh, Greg talking about steaks. Me and my wife, we went over. I done told this once. Over to Pulaski last night to eat at a place called Stockyard Cafe right next to the Stockyard, and I thought it'd open back up, but it closed for COVID. So we went over to the Hickory House. cheapest steak they had was $21, and I think his went on up to about 40. And I got a catfish fillet plate. It was good, but it wasn't worth the money that we paid for it. But we got out without the kids for a while, and let's get caught up on this. How old of a New Holland is it? Is it one that was where it's got a Case International counterpart? Because I think only difference in the new ones are 110C and whatever the counterpart is to the New Hollands is the grill's different and it's blue. I think that's the only difference in them. But yeah, if I had my phone out here playing guitar, I can't read comments. I don't know whether to shut up or not. Probably '03 was. I don't know when New Holland and Case merged. I just know a couple years ago we went and got some parts that said CNH, and I asked Daddy, I said, "What does that CNH mean?" He said, "Well, New Holland owns Case now." If that's what it is, I think New Holland owns Case. I'm not for sure. Y'all want me to play y'all tune? Yeah, Fiat on. That's like big tractors got Fiat engines. I don't know what if the 110's got a Fiat in it or not. Uh, Delilah, go get my acoustic guitar. The one I don't have to plug up. Yeah. Uh, Mama sang bass, Daddy sang tenor, me and little brother sang bass and tenor. I think Fiat does. Um, there's something going on with uh, something going on with Cummins too, because Cummins used to be in the big tractors and or Ram, and you see a Ram advertisement, and it's always got a Case International tractor combine in it. Come here. Oh, there, right there. Yeah. Go get me a pick. I need a pick. I'm not used to playing acoustic anyway. I'm more of a electric player.
So good.
May not be in tune.
Second Center. You watch the live?
No.
Okay. That's why I'm holding his phone.
Let's start that over. My name's John Lee Pettimore, same as my daddy and his daddy before. All I ever saw granddaddy down here, only came to town about twice a year. Now 100 pounds of yeast and some copper lime. Everybody knew it would make moonshine. Now the revenue man wanted granddaddy. That's the new man wanted granddaddy back. Headed up the hollow with everything he had. All my time, well, I've been told he never come back from Copperhead Road. Granddaddy ran whiskey in a big black Dodge. Bought it at an auction at the Mason's Lodge. Johnson County Sheriff painted on the side. The shot through the primer and looked inside. Me and my uncle tore that engine down. I still remember that rumbling sound. Sheriff came around in the middle of the night. Heard mama crying, knew something wasn't right. Headed down to Knoxville with a weekly road. Smell the whiskey burning down Copperhead Road. Volunteered for the army on my birthday. Take the white trash first around here anyway. Went to the beauty in Vietnam. I came home with a brand new plan. Take seed from Colombia and Mexico. Just planted down a holler down Copperhead Road. Now the DEA's got a chopper in the air. Wake up screaming like tobacco over there. There's a thing or two, Johnny, don't you know? Better stay away from Copperhead Road. All right, let me say the comments. Okay. Did I run anybody off? Somebody said something about a Nissan Titan. Freebird. if I can ever figure out how to record it, I would definitely do my own intro. I've got some licks that I have uh, come up with. Yes, Farmhand Mike is a versatile man. I don't really watch him. Um, so I don't. I watch him every now. I ain't got nothing against him. I just don't ever watch them channels like that. So let me tune back up, and I'll play y'all some Skinner, and then I'm gonna put the guitar up. Here, hold that again.
I'm trying to force Mom to let me have coffee. It's not happening.